This is John Cena. Smash the like button if you believe that releasing Baron Corbin was a bad move.
Good Lord, man. What's up with you people? Nobody told me that Baron Corbin got released. I'm like, how can you not remind me of that? So what are my thoughts about Baron Corbin being released by the World Wrestling Federation? I was shocked because I thought Baron Corbin had a job for life with this company. But nobody talks about this fact. I think Baron Corbin was a Vince McMahon guy. I don't think he was a Triple H guy, because the moment Vince McMahon stepped down, Baron Corbin went to NXT. Nobody brings that up because I don't think Triple H was ever a huge fan of Baron Corbin. I think my favorite version of Baron Corbin was when he was the Raw GM. That was a great version of Baron Corbin. I think the highlight of his whole entire career, when he gave Becky Lynch the end of days, that was great shit. That was the best moment of his life, when he gave Becky Lynch the end of days. I thought Baron Corbin was a great talent on the main roster. Now, do I think that the World Wrestling Federation dropped the ball on Baron Corbin? Yes, I do. I think Baron Corbin had JBL-like potential, but I don't think Triple H saw it. Now, Vince McMahon saw it before Roman Reigns became the tribal chief. It was King Corbin who was the last guy to pin Roman Reigns. Not a lot of people talk about that fact. I think Baron Corbin was a solid performer on the main roster, and I did like his stint in NXT. I mean the Shawn Michaels NXT. I thought his career got rejuvenated when he went to NXT and he teamed up with Braun Breaker. That was a great tag team. So I'm shocked that they released him, because he was great when he was in NXT. It's like, yes, Triple H did not have a place for him on the main roster. Okay, cool. Send him back down to NXT to help out. I don't get it. He was a fan favorite when he was in NXT. Hell, they turned on Gable Steveson just to cheer Baron Corbin. He was a fan favorite when he was in NXT. He revived his career. But did his career need a revival? I don't think so. It's just Triple H was never a fan of Baron Corbin. He was always a Vince McMahon guy. Vince McMahon loved Baron Corbin. Oh yeah, also, Baron Corbin was a better U.S. champion than L.A. Cosplay. I forgot to bring that up. Also, Baron Corbin was a Money in the Bank winner, and he was the one who retired Kurt Angle. So that's my point. He was a fan favorite by Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon loved Baron Corbin. It's just, I don't know why Triple H did not like him. The fact that they turned Baron Corbin face on SmackDown, I'm like, nah, man, you cannot turn Baron Corbin face on SmackDown. The main roster audience, they're used to seeing a bad guy, Baron Corbin. They tried to team him up with Apollo Crews. That was a random ass tag team. He was lost. Baron Corbin had no identity on the main roster when he came back. He had zero identity. I'm like, why would you pair him up with born-ass Apollo Crews, who, I might add, I'm shocked he is still employed, okay? I'm shocked that Apollo Crews is still here. Hell, I would keep Baron Corbin over Apollo Crews. Listen, I think Apollo Crews is damaged goods, but I think you can still push Baron Corbin as a mid-card heel. Why not push Baron Corbin as a mid-card heel? I thought he was here for life. A couple of months back, I think Baron Corbin was one of Carmelo Hayes' first matches on the main roster, and the crowd was actually cheering for Baron Corbin. That's crazy. They were actually cheering for Baron Corbin. So I don't know why you would release Baron Corbin, because he had a strong career on the main roster. It's just not under Triple H. If Vince McMahon was still here, Baron Corbin would still be here. So I actually made a pitch about Baron Corbin when he came back to the main roster. I found out that Baron Corbin is a martial artist in real life. So I figured, okay, why not give Baron Corbin a martial arts gimmick? If he does BJJ, okay, make that his gimmick. Why not make him into Steve Blackman? Something that will revive Baron Corbin on the main roster. That means he would have evolved into something else. I said, why not give him a martial arts gimmick? But when he was in NXT, man, he was the most improved. So I don't know why you would release him based on all the improvements he made when he was in NXT. So yes, I do agree. with Baron Corbin, I think they did drop the ball on him because I saw him as the next JBL. How did I feel about him being King Baron Corbin? That was a great gimmick. It's just, it ran too long. If you are going to make him King Corbin, you gotta make him a champion, right? If you are going to give him the King of the Ring crown, okay, make it mean something. Okay, yeah, he had good, nice heel heat, but you gotta make it mean something. I'm like, give him the US belt, give him the IC belt, something. Have him challenge for the world title, something. Also, when Baron Corbin got released, that means that we are never going to hear his theme song that Jim Johnston made. That was the last song he made. So the fact that Baron Corbin got released, that means we will never hear his great theme song ever again. That song is one of the best of all time. Man, I got that song on my phone, okay? His first theme song from Jim Johnston, I got that track on my phone. Now, some people love the Lone Wolf Baron Corbin. Okay, he was solid, he was good, but man, I loved the Raw GM Baron Corbin when he was wearing suits and he was bald. That was great shit, man. He was an extension of Vince McMahon. A lot of people don't know that. He was an extension of Vince McMahon. And I don't care what anybody else says. I loved his feud with Seth Rollins. It was Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans versus Becky Lynch and Rollins. That was great shit. Like I said, we will never see that moment ever again. A woman taking a goddamn finisher like the End of Days, we will never see it ever again. Like, actually, I think that was the last man-on-woman contact that we have ever seen since, right? We've seen Rhea Ripley beating up on dudes, but that was the last time a guy made contact with a woman in a physical way. That was the last time we saw a woman taking a bump from a guy. So that's why Baron Corbin was very special. He had a very special run in the World Wrestling Federation. Man, why can't Dirty Ass Dominic eventually lay hands on Rhea Ripley? It has to happen. Eventually. It has to happen. Eventually, Dirty Ass Dom has to lay out Rhea Ripley. He can't just be taking beatdowns. Eventually, he needs to beat the shit out of Rhea Ripley. Yeah, I said it. Just imagine the heat, man. Just imagine the heat if Dirty Ass Dominic did a frog splash on Rhea Ripley. Man, the crowd will hate his guts. That's what I mean. Dirty Ass Dominic, he needs to beat Gunther for the world title. Dirty Ass Dominic has way more angles. He has way more feuds than Gunther right now that the crowd will be more entertained by. That's why Gunther, he needs to drop this belt to Dirty Ass Dominic. He's the most over heel on Raw. So why not make him world champion? I felt like Triple H, he should have given Baron Corbin one more last run as a heel against Cody Rhodes. I'm like, why not? Baron Corbin has heat. So I'm like, okay, why not re-push Baron Corbin and have him face Cody Rhodes as a one-off, just to give Cody Rhodes something to do. I say, why not? But I don't know why he made Baron Corbin so boring. He was a boring, bland dude with Apollo Crews. Listen, Apollo Crews is a charisma vacuum cleaner. He brings people down. Okay, he has no personality. So why would you pair him up with Baron Corbin? That brought Baron Corbin down. Hell, you could make the argument that boring ass Apollo Crews got Baron Corbin fired based on how boring he is. He's boring. Apollo Crews is boring. Nothing can help Apollo Crews be entertaining. It don't matter if you put him in the Hurt Business. It don't matter. He's boring. It don't matter if you put him in the Nation of Domination. He's boring. You cannot help him, okay? So why would you pair him up with Baron Corbin to drag him down? That was crazy. So that's proof. I don't think Triple H ever liked Baron Corbin, because why would you demote him down to NXT? Him? Like, why? He was doing just fine on the main roster. I don't get it. He has size. He has charisma. Corbin could talk. So I'm like, okay, why not repackage him as the Lone Wolf, right? The main roster audience, we wanted a new version of the Lone Wolf on the main roster. I don't get it. Why not bring that back for nostalgia? Let's see a new version of the Lone Wolf on SmackDown, Raw. We saw it on NXT with Braun Breaker, so let's see that on SmackDown, Raw. Triple H gave two shits about Baron Corbin. I don't get it. So, where will Baron Corbin go after this? I say he needs to go to TNA. Do not go to All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling. I see him as a TNA guy. He is a carbon copy of what a TNA guy looks like. I think he can revitalize his career if he went to TNA. Look at Dolph Ziggler. Why can't that be Baron Corbin? That's where he needs to go. He needs to go to TNA. Do not go to All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling unless you want to be on Rampage or unless you want to be the next Lance Archer as a tall, giant jobber. Unless you want to be the next Big Cass as a lackey. I guarantee you this, Baron Corbin will be a lackey if he signed with All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling. I hope he knows that. Hopefully, he takes his ass to TNA. I wouldn't mind seeing Moose versus Baron Corbin. I wouldn't mind seeing Hammerstone versus Baron Corbin. I think that is a great fit. He is made for TNA. I swear to God, he's made for TNA. I don't get it. I think when you get demoted back to NXT, I think they are telling you, you will be fired soon. That's facts. I think when you get demoted to NXT, they are telling you, you will be fired soon. That's facts. Look at Ali. Look at Dominik Dijakovic. He went down to NXT. He returned back to NXT, and he did have a great run, right? I don't get it. So you sent him back down to NXT. I'm talking about Dominik Dijakovic. So you sent him back down, and he had a great career. He had a great run. He had a great comeback, right? He actually reinvented himself, and you released him? So what was the point of you pushing him? What was the point of you giving him a push if you released him months later? He actually evolved into a different character because he was a failure on the main roster with, I think, Retribution. Yeah, so he got set back down and he had a great run. That was a great reinvention. And then you released him. I'm like, hold on, bro. You could have used him on Raw or SmackDown. You saw the improvements and you released him. I don't get it. That's the same thing with Baron Corbin. I think that Apollo Crews is on borrowed time because it's not good when they demote you back down to NXT and then they call you back up. No, man, that means eventually you will be released because that's what they do. It's not good when you get demoted back down to NXT. Just ask Mustafa Ali. He's gone. Ask Dolph Ziggler. He's gone. So that's never good. But man, I really liked Baron Corbin. That was some of the best shit I've seen from Baron Corbin when he was with Braun Breaker. I'm like, bro, he was tag team champions with the future mascot of the company, who is Braun Breaker. And you released him? I'm like, bro, he helped out Braun Breaker, right? He helped mentor Braun Breaker and you released him? So what do I think about Indy Hartwell? What do I think about Tegan Knox? I'm sorry, but I'm not shocked that those two women got released. I think Tegan Knox would be great for TNA. I think Indy Hartwell would be great on, I don't know, Rampage. Okay? I think Indy Hartwell would be great on Rampage. I'm not saying that Miss Hartwell will be a star if she were to sign with All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling. I ain't saying that, but I think she would be a solid hand. She would be a solid jobber. Listen, Miss Hartwell would be a solid jobber on Rampage or Dynamite. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because listen, we all can't be main eventers. We all can't be great mid-card guys, right? Everybody has a place, okay? Every company needs their own Brooklyn Brawler. I think Miss Hartwell has upside as a solid jobber on Collision, Rampage, Dynamite. I see it. Like, I can see Miss Hartwell having a 2-minute match with Chris Ashlander. I can see Miss Hartwell having a 2-minute match with Dr. Britt Baker. You know what I'm saying? Those kind of matches where her job is to put over Chris Ashlander, but not look too bad, right? She needs that role. So yes, I think Ms. Hartwell has upside and potential as a female Brooklyn brawler on Dynamite, Rampage, Collision, or why not have her go to Ring of Honor? Why not have Ms. Hartwell go to ROH? I say why not? Her and Tegan Nox. I think Tegan Nox would be great in Ring of Honor. That is also a great option. But like I said, Baron Corbin, he needs to take his ass to TNA. I think he will be a main eventer if he was in TNA. Also, I think that the most underrated gimmick in the World Wrestling Federation history is bum-ass Baron Corbin. That was a great gimmick. When Baron Corbin was a bum, man, he had huge upside and potential as the next great face because it was a wacky, very different gimmick, but the crowd loved it. I don't know why they did not go far with that gimmick because that gimmick had upside and potential. When Baron Corbin was a bum, the crowd loved it because they felt sorry for him. They related to that gimmick because he was broke, his wife left him. People related to that. I don't know why they stopped doing it. I will say this, I hated Happy Corbin. That was an awful, terrible gimmick. And I'm glad that they changed it and he went back to NXT. But yes, that was an awful fucking gimmick. Why would you go from bum-ass Baron Corbin, who was actually getting over with the audience? Why would you stop doing that to go to Happy Corbin? I swear to God, people hated that gimmick for all the wrong reasons. He had go-away heat. People loved bum-ass Baron Corbin because Pat McAfee was putting that gimmick over. That was great shit. But listen, I'm going to miss Baron Corbin. They did drop the ball on Baron Corbin. And I'm done.